1984 anti-Sikh riots case. Jagdish Tytler, Congress leader, has now moved an anticipatory bail plea in the Rouse Avenue court. The court has issued this notice to the CBI. As far as this investigation goes, remember, this comes at a time when, for the first time in close to 4 decades, Jagdish Tytler seems to be facing the law in the 1984 Sikh riots. He was summoned by the court during the last hearing, and before the next hearing happens, Tytler has now moved the court for anticipatory bail. Ananya, my colleague, joining us, getting us more details. Yes, Ananya.
Well, definitely, Poonam. This is a situation where almost after 4 decades, somebody who is about to face the law is fearing an arrest, is, fearing that he might be arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation, and that's the reason. As a preemptive measure for that, he has now moved Delhi's Rouse Avenue court, clearly seeking anticipatory bail into this particular case. The court has issued notice to the Central Bureau of Investigation, and the hearing in the matter will be happening tomorrow. Remember that this comes a week after Delhi's Rouse Avenue court had summoned Jagdish Tytler after a charge sheet was filed against him by the Central Bureau of Investigation, accusing him of murder, arson, writing and various other charges under the Indian Penal Code. And in fact, we had seen the reactions that were coming in from the victims of the 1984 riots, that they were very, very happy. And now Jagdish Tytler has made his first legal move, clearly filing an anticipatory bail application. Whether or not that is granted is something that is a matter of time, but at this time this is a preemptive measure. This is a measure out of fear of an arrest that Jagdish Tytler has now moved an anticipatory bail in this particular case.
5th of August is when he was summoned for by the Rouse Avenue court. 4 days before that, he has moved for anticipatory bail. What happens next, Ananya? Are we going to be seeing the court hear the matter, or is it going to come up for hearing directly on the 5th now?
No, the hearing in this particular matter with regards to the bail is tomorrow, while Jagdish Tytler will have to appear before the court on, the August 5th. It is not necessary for him actually to appear tomorrow as well before the court. It is the 5th of August when his presence would be required. It is when he will have to appear before the court, because summons have been issued for that particular date. But tomorrow, his lawyers can come up and argue a bail for, Jagdish Tytler. But what would be very, very important, crucial to notice, what stand does the CBI has when it comes to, granting an anticipatory bail to Jagdish Tytler? Whether the CBI would be soft and not opposing it, or whether the CBI would be opposing it strongly with the contention that he is somebody who has not faced the law in the last 4 decades and now he should be put to practice.
Given the delay we've already seen in this particular case, Ananya, the fact that this has dragged on for 39 years before Jagdish Tytler was even summoned in one of these cases dating back to 1984, and the fact that the charge sheet that the CBI had filed mentioned that Tytler had incited, instigated and provoked the mob that had assembled at the Pulbangash Gurudwara, perhaps could we take that as hint that the CBI could oppose this anticipatory bail?
Well, definitely, the Central Bureau of Investigation can actually oppose the bail that is filed by, Jagdish Tytler, though it would be a legal and preemptive submission to make for us. But at the same point of time, as a premier investigation agency which has filed a very, very crucial charge sheet against somebody who has not faced the law in, last 4 decades, now the Central Bureau of Investigation might not leave any stone unturned in order to put Jagdish Tytler to process, to in fact, putting him to a process and in fact opposing his bail. And definitely the Central Bureau of Investigation can say that the charges against Jagdish Tytler are very, very serious in nature, and he can, he is somebody who has been away from the law for the last 4 decades, and this is the time that he needs to be, put into perspective, and then, the Central Bureau of Investigation can oppose his bail, saying that the charges against him are very, very serious in nature and should not be granted an anticipatory bail in this particular case.
And the fact that the victims' counsels have often spoken of intimidation of witnesses and the kind of powerful position that Jagdish Tytler holds even now within the Congress and as a prominent individual, a prominent politician, all of that perhaps sets the stage of the hearing for the anticipatory bail tomorrow. For the moment though, Ananya, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. We are moving back to Haryana now, where